Conor Gallagher's exit from Chelsea is all but confirmed as long as he gets the move that he wants. Picks the club. It's actually a very good club and it will be a great move for him. Chelsea announced a move for Wiley. Who is he? Well, he's a US men's national team 19-year-old that's played 77 MLS games. I'm going to explain to you why Chelsea did it. It's not for them. Furthermore, they've started talking to a new goalkeeper, Philip Jurgensen. Yes, I don't know much about him, but I did my research. I know a little bit more. I'm going to keep you in the know. He's one of 4 people they've got on their shortlist. Let's break him down. Furthermore, and this is the biggest one of all, Chalobah has been left off the US tour. Early leaks are coming out. Chelsea are forcing him out the club. I think that's nasty. I can't lie, and I'm going to explain. And finally, Malang Sarr has left the building. He has left Chelsea Football Club. The contract's been terminated and he is going to Lens, and we need to talk about what happened there and why. But before we get started, I need a massive favor from every single one of you. Number 1, hit that like button. 1,000 likes go a massive way. Number 2, if you're new, subscribe, because evidently I just break down the sources for you nice, neatly, compactly, and more importantly, you just stay up to date with Chelsea Football Club. But now, let's move on with the video. Conor Gallagher has come through the Chelsea Academy, and a lot of people really like Conor Gallagher, right? It's hard not to like Conor Gallagher if you like athleticism, if you like someone that's 100% committed, and if you just like a player that gives it their all every single day of the week. Conor Gallagher's your guy. However, if you prefer somebody that is more technically gifted, you want more from your attacking midfielder in the sense of production of goals, assists, and key passes, and just overall impact on the game, he's very easy not to like. So he's very polarized. He's gone to the Euros. He did not have a good Euros. We're not going to hold that against him. And the reason we're not going to hold that against him is nobody with England, apart from a few players of maybe Mainu, Palmer, and Guehi, had a good Euros, even though they got to the final. That's a lot. So what has happened? Well, it looks like his international teammate, Kieran Trippier, is encouraging him to move to Atletico Madrid. The Darios in Spain are coming out. Apparently, they're tier 1 in Spain. And they are saying that Chelsea and Atletico have been in discussion. They are super eager for this player. And Kieran Trippier, has been actively persuading him to go. For those of you that don't know, he's played under Diego Simeone. He played at Atletico Madrid. I think it was for 2 seasons. He was the starting right back. And then he decided to come back to England and play for Newcastle. And now he's still there. Conor Gallagher apparently has decided he wants to move to Atletico Madrid. He's going to push for that move. This is the Spanish sources coming out. And then Fabrizio came out and added a little bit more season into the story and gave us some more of an insight. He said, number 1, Chelsea and Atletico have had conversations, and number 2, Atletico will be coming back in the next few weeks or closer to the end of the window to try and get the deal across the table. I'm going to explain to you why they're doing that. Number 1, they don't want to pay the 40M. Chelsea were asking for £50 million plus. I think they would settle for 40, like I've always been saying. However, Atletico don't want to. They've already had a bid for 20 million rejected pounds. Imagine the audacity of them, right? Omaridon is worth 75 million. However, Gallagher is only worth 20 million. Let that sink in. Yet, and this is where it gets interesting, they're going to wait until time goes on and then they're going to dash money onto the table. For me, Gallagher needs to force this move. If he wants Atletico Madrid, force it. Tell Chelsea, look, I'm not going anywhere unless they're, and push for that move, push for that exit. Look, in this situation, Chelsea have got 3 options. They either give him a new contract that he wants on his terms and conditions, and they re-sign him on a wage that they don't believe he's worth. Option number 1. Number 2, they call Atletico Madrid, try to negotiate a deal, right, that suits all parties, as in Atletico and Chelsea and Conor. Yet, I thoroughly doubt that can happen because I don't think Atletico will pay the money they're asking for. And 3, this is the biggest one of all. It's the one that stinks. It's the one that's the worst one of all, right? It's the one that, if you think about it logically, if they do it, it's bad PR. Exile them from the group. Literally, if you're not leaving, you're not training with a team, you're training with the under-21s, you're going to be a non-Chelsea player for the year. It is the horrible move to do. I kind of don't agree with it. I'm not going to lie to you. It just feels wrong where you're essentially treating common graduate or players like that you are happy enough to give a contract to in a negative way. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know how you lot think this is going to play out. I don't know how it's going to play out, but you will find out here when eventually the news comes out. Speaking of isolating players, it's come out that Trevor Chalobah is not going on the Chelsea tour. Chelsea Spot, I think the source is called, is somebody that's very reliable with the club. This is what all the big ITKs are saying. They're saying this is true. He has come out and said, breaking news, Chelsea are not taking Trevor Chalobah to the US tour in a hope to force him out of the club. What has happened with Trevor Chalobah at this moment in time? Trevor Chalobah signed a new long-term deal right before the new sporting directors came in. He signed the deal, he got a 6 or 7 year extension, and since then, they've been trying to push him out the club. They had Nottingham Forest chasing him, they couldn't get him out the club. Then they had a whole summer of them literally like offering him all over Europe, they couldn't get him out the club. Bayern Munich came after him, they wouldn't agree a fee, they couldn't get him out the club. He was basically injured for majority of the season, came back, was a sample in our team towards the back end of the season, and now they got Tosin Adebayo, and all of a sudden, they're trying to get him out the club. Yet, people expected him to basically say, no, I'm not going because I've got 6 years left on my contract, which is within his rights. You offered him this contract. And this is where it gets absolutely sticky for me, you know? What do you do with this? Because evidently, Chelsea don't want him to be part of the squad, right? The sporting directors, I don't know who else, have decided he is not of the quality that they want in their team. Whether we agree with that or not, it's not. This is the facts that we're seeing, right? They don't rate him. They're not taking him on tour. They're trying to tell him, look, you're not part of the plans here. You're not going to play. We're forcing you to leave. This player does not want to leave. He wants to stay, and the only way he'll be tempted to go if it's a European club. The offer for him would be £25 million for him to go. No one is offering this. And this is where it's absolutely mind-boggling to me. And other people can elaborate on this, because I think he's better than £25 million. I'm seeing some of the defenders going around and I'm like, they're not better than Trev. And yet they're costing 40 million. I am missing something that evidently football experts aren't. You know, like they've got validations and reasons why he's not worth it. Yet we can't get a bid of 25 million for him, which is wild to me. I don't understand. At this moment in time, he's not going to the US tour. And we will find that out in the next, I think tomorrow or after tomorrow when they fly out. For me, this is not the way you treat a Cobham graduate and not the way you treat somebody that's always been ready to turn up for your club. For me, this is stinky behavior. Speaking about exiling players, they've already done this. We've seen this, and you know what the annoying thing is? People don't care, right? When this happens to a player that we don't rate, we don't care because we're like, who cares, man? He should be leaving the club. And in this case, it happened to Malang Sarr. So Malang Sarr joined us when we were still under Roman Abramovich, and Marina Garaskaya was the technical director and the CEO, basically. He joined on a free transfer. He got a beautiful contract for him, £120,000 a week for a multiple year deal. He played under Tuchel a little bit when injuries arose. He done really well under Tuchel. You know, we're not going to be very hyperbolic and say fantastic, world class, but I think he done really well. When he was required to play left centre back, he didn't disappoint. He was part of a team that won a trophy in the Club World Cup, and he was a key member of that squad. You know, Tuchel really integrated him and Chalobah. When the injuries occurred, they were playing. So I'm not going to be mean, I'm not going to say he was rubbish, because he wasn't. However, when last year we started selling players, Malang Sarr didn't leave. And what happened was he was training with the under-21s all year. Like, absolutely excluded. We didn't see any pictures of him. We didn't even hear of him until the January window when his deal broke down. I think he was going to Monaco, if I'm not mistaken. And now it's come out that they've terminated his contract. So both parties have agreed to rip it up, and he's going to Lens. What I'm going to say is thank you for all the memories that you gave us, because the Club World Cup was a great memory for me. You played a pivotal role. Well done in terms of the Champions League, in terms of the Premier League. Like, he was a valuable squad member. However, Chelsea need to learn from this, because they signed the player on ridiculous wages for free, and I could see this situation happening in the future with others. And we're seeing it now with Trevor Chalobah, where they want to get him out, but they can't because the wages apparently are too high. But no one's willing to pay that, but they've got this certain valuation. It's just a mess. I think there needs to be more strategic planning in when we sign players, and less of a hoarding mentality. Because at the moment, we just want to have so many talents under one roof, and then we'll decide that we're going to flip them all for profit. But if they don't play, they're not going. And that's the annoying thing. So we need to make sure we're more considerate with what we do. So Chelsea at this moment in time are looking for a new goalkeeper. We've covered this in great detail that Petrovic will be leaving, Sanchez will be the number one, and then we'll have someone fight out. Well, Fabrizio's confirmed that Chelsea are looking at Filip Jørgensen. Filip Jørgensen has got caps for the under 17 and 19 for Sweden, under 21s for Denmark, but apparently he wants to play for Sweden's senior team. He plays at the moment at Villarreal. He is 22 years old. He's got 34 appearances across 2 years. He is their number one. He played 28 games last year. What I did was I tried to get some insight on the actual player and what he's like as a goalkeeper. Firstly, I am no goalkeeping expert, right? I can talk to you about a right back, a striker, a midfielder, defender, and give you some details on why I think these players are great and why they're not. However, when it comes to goalkeepers, I really struggle to criticize shot saving and like, oh, he should have done this better, because I've never played in the position, nor am I an expert in the field of goalkeeping, right? I can't sit here and lie to you that I watch goalkeepers religiously and go, oh my God, this is what you should be doing. The way I would occasionally watch a centre back. Oh my God, look at the way his body shape was. Or a centre midfielder, look at the way he's off the ball. You just don't have that kind of detail on keepers. Well, I don't personally. But what I saw was he had very good short passing. They say he's a very good on the ball goalkeeper, but apparently he's very suspect on shot saving. This is what the sources are coming out and saying, and these are what the ITKs and people that watch him. Number one, do not ever base your opinion on what other people say. Watch the player yourself. Take what the other people are saying, watch it and see whether it's true before you make a definitive opinion. I don't know what he is. I don't know how good he is. All we know is Fabrizio said he's one of 4 people Chelsea have opened discussions with the players' camp and Villarreal to see how much the fee is. At this moment in time, I don't have an opinion to give you whether he's good, bad, or absolutely horrible. So we need to wait and see if we sign him and what kind of player he is. All I'm going to say is they've got Jaja Solina, they've got Petrovic, and they've got Sanchez, in my opinion, horribly wrong. Petrovic, maybe not, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. But this one can't be wrong. You can't get a 4th goalkeeper wrong. I always say your goalkeeper can't be the position you gamble on. He's the one that needs to be the one where you drop the money and say, nah, we're buying premium here. So please get this right, Chelsea. I'm begging. The final bit of news, which is very interesting to me, Chelsea have announced the player. And what I don't like about this is I had no dopamine here of this. Like there was no, oh my God, we've announced the player. This is so sick. It's Caleb Wiley. And Caleb Wiley is a 19-year-old American. He plays at left back at Atalanta United, if I'm not mistaken, and he's played over, I think my notes say 77 MLS games, which is really impressive considering he must have been doing that for 3 seasons, so started playing when he was 16. And that's what we know about him. He's got 2 US men's national team caps. A lot of people can say, why has he only got 2? If he was sick, he'd get more. He has got Robertson in front of him, the Fulham left back, and that guy's really good. I think he could really step up to another level. I did some research on him. He's 1 meter 80, so he's not short for a left back. And this is where it gets very interesting. The guy is a very good old school left back. If I was to compare him to anybody, it would be Ben Chilwell under Thomas Tuchel. Great runner with the ball, just athletic, strong, good athlete, decent on the ball. This is the key here. He's decent on the ball for a left back, a traditional left back. Good shooting from range, decent crosser, aerially okay. However, this is where it gets very interesting. Does he fit the Maresca system? Would he be able to translate his game time into Chelsea Football Club? No, that's what all the scout reports that I've read have said, that he's not ready for Chelsea. And apparently, he's not even a signing for Chelsea. He's a signing for Strasbourg. So Strasbourg wanted to buy him. However, because of the TV deal in France not being to a sufficient amount as initially planned, and this is where it gets very interesting, they have decided that Chelsea are going to sign him and loan him back. I have a problem with this, and I'm going to explain to you why. Chelsea have 6 loans that they can make international. This is a new regulatory thing that has been announced. 6 loans international. Us wasting a loan for a player that we don't believe will ever be good enough for Chelsea is not the right thing to do. Santos going on loan, love it. Asalmino going on loan, I love it, because in the future, you know he's going to return and he's going to be one of our own players, and potentially at Chelsea. I'm not in the business of Chelsea doing favours for Strasbourg, personally. Strasbourg benefit from us loaning them players. Whether this is one of those players, we won't know, and we need to watch a bit more. Like I said, we can't make too much of a definitive stamp where we say, you know what, Bratohi, he ain't good enough. We can't do that because we don't know enough about him. We won't see him on the preseason tour because he is going with the US men's national team to the Olympics. We can watch him there. We can get a little bit of an insight. However, we're going to be watching a lot of him at Strasbourg, and he'll be taking one of those internationals. But before we end this video today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts on Trevor Chalobah's situation. It is a bit peak, I can't lie to you, but sometimes that's just the reality of football. Peace out, I'm out, have a lovely day.